All praises. Salakia. All praises. All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Kal Halai Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. And double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And shalom to the believers of the true doctrine. The hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom to the elect. Right? The believers, man. And this is gonna be a Salakia, this is gonna be a video on how Eve really is crazy, man. Like, she's crazy, right? But then also how I can understand why all the brothers don't just keep and all the apostles and the elders don't have like, they talk about you simps, man, and all you jakes that, like, you treat the so-called black woman like you actually believe that the so-called black woman is God stuff, man, and she's not God, right? And it's mad. The women of our nation, they've always got a problem with the idea of men having multiple wives, and yet none of these women are virgins when you meet them. Isn't it fascinating? Ain't none of these women virgins, right? And it's coming like they want to be able to have multiple husbands or multiple wives themselves, and that's what happened in this video, right? You had a Eve that had a husband. She's got a husband, right? And she was trying to do a polyamorous, whatever you want to call it, and that. And then the woman was like, "Oh, so okay, so it's gonna be you and me and my husband dealing with each other, right? But me and you are gonna do our thing together as well, right? Not, oh, I'm finding my husband another wife. No, Eve don't want to do that. She was really trying to find herself another partner. She wasn't trying to find, oh my husband. I know that I'm not enough for my husband anymore. So let me find my husband another wife so that he can have two women to try and deal with his needs in that department. No, Eve ain't trying to do that, right? And women in general ain't trying to do that. But she was trying to find herself another wife, or trying to find herself a second person to be with, man, right? Then the woman, this is what's happened in this video, and in like 12 minutes in, this is what was taking place, right? And then the woman's talking about, the other woman said, "Oh, I don't like him. I don't like your husband. Can it just be me and you?" So then she's like, "All right, cool. Me and you are just gonna do our thing, and my husband can be wherever he's gonna be, right?" And then she finds out that that woman, that she was trying to do her own thing with outside of her husband, so she was committing adultery on her husband with a woman, right? And then she said, "This is what happened in this video. You're gonna have to watch. You have to watch it yourself to really like see how crazy and wicked the women of our nation are, man." But it's allowed by the laws of Yahweh not being enacted, because if these women knew that when they start coming up with these bogged out ideas, that a pile of stones, each weighing a kilogram each, man, and people that can throw them said stones like Major League Baseball players were going to be waiting on the standby every single time you act a fool, they wouldn't be doing none of this. The laws of Yahweh stop these things from happening. And the thing with you dirty heathens, man, is you've been happy to allow this stuff to happen to us, right? So you're going to be made to go through some of this stuff. You're going to be made to go through some of this stuff when we're in our kingdom, right? But after that 1,000 years is over, the laws are going to be truly enacted, man. And while them 1,000 years are taking place, that first 1,000 years, you're going to be made to undergo what goes in the laws as well. And that's going to be a punishment for you lot, because you're wicked. Because you're still going to try and do adultery and all these things while that first 1,000 years is going on. But every single time you break the law is going to break you like a rod of iron. That's what's going to be happening, man. Like, the Israelite woman has become a complete demon, man. This woman, I'm looking at her, right? I'm looking at her. Her man's the guy on the right. And he, and no homo, obviously, man, but appearance-wise, he's in a better shape than what she is. She's a big Shirley, mate. She easily outweighs him by maybe a good 50 to 75 pounds, man. Right? He looks like he's about a good 15 years younger than her. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. But then look at what's on his t-shirt. Babylon the Great, man. So you already know he lost. You already know he lost, man. And Eve's a demon. She was down to, let me just show you how much of a hypocrite women are. This woman, right, was committing adultery on her man with a woman. And okay, she might say, oh, he knows about it, right? He knows what I'm doing because I told him. But then she got mad with the woman that was so-called, in her opinion, committing adultery on her with men, with women, with all kind of people. That's what she found out from going through the woman's messages, right? But then, and she started beating the woman up, pulling her hair and all kind of stuff, when she deserves her ass whooped for what she's doing to her husband. She deserves, according to the law, to you know what, man. We don't even need to say. But the Israelite woman is a complete, absolute hypocrite, man. It's ridiculous how much of a hypocrites they are. This is what they really, not even only the Israelite woman, women in general, they expect you whoever's listening, they expect you to be able to have all the money in the world to take care of whatever they want to and need in their life, yeah, and what anything that they might come across later on in their life, and be able to start getting the money if they see another woman with something that they want to just try and have some competition with her with, and get the money to have that too, right? And then they expect to be able to treat you like this. Whenever I want to sleep with you, that's when you're gonna get some. But on top of that, you ain't allowed to have another wife, because then you're gonna be able to get some from them other wives, and I can't manipulate you by using sex as a weapon against you. This is the truth of the matter. This is the truth, not the fluffy world where, oh, what people try and say. No, this is the real of what it is, man. They expect that they should be able to get away with treating men like this. And this world has allowed it to happen. But look at you women, you're through. This woman would be way better off if she had a man telling her, don't eat that. You're going to end up fat as hell. She's got 3 bellies right there. And she's wearing the kind of t-shirt that you'd expect a little girl to wear, with all them glitter on there and that. She looks like a stupid idiot. And she's talking about she's going to call the press charges on me because even though she know I got kids, if you know you've got kids yourself, so why are you trying to think that you should be getting your swerve on, right? Getting your swerve on with women, for starters. That's off. And you've got a husband, he's standing right behind you. It's him that's supposed to be getting the multiple wives, not you, stupid idiot. But tell her that she gonna come with that. First of all, you can't tell me what to do. You ain't my daddy. You ain't my mate. I don't want to be your daddy. You think that we us men of Israelites of Israel are just so desires to be some woman's father? That's that. No, we don't want to. Really, you Israelite women are starting to get on our nerves so much that advice is being put out there. To hell with all of you. Get a snow bunny. Do you understand? You understand? Now the snow bunny's gonna be a demon anyway. That's the thing about it, because most of you women in this world right now, y'all are wicked, man. And it don't matter how fine you are. In fact, you might think it might be good advice that the finer the woman is, the more of a demon she's going to be, because she's going to have even more pride levels. But as you can see, this woman on the screen ain't fine, and she's proud. You know what level of pride you have to have as a woman to tell your man, okay, you know this polyamorous relationship with me and you is having with this woman, she don't like you, but me and her are gonna still do our thing because I love her. Huh? What are you talking about? When Sarah said to Abraham, "Oh, have my handmaid," did she say, "Oh, but Abraham, actually, she don't like you anymore, but me and her are gonna still do our thing on the side"? Did Sarah even deal with the handmaid? No, because she weren't no LG3T. What about Rachel and Leah? Did they say to Israel, our forefather, okay, have my handmaid? Actually, on second thoughts, I'm gonna have the handmaid, and she ain't feeling you, and me and her are gonna start a relationship on the side, minus you. You think they could have told Jacob that? Nah, he wouldn't have been going for that. You think any of King David's wives, when we had real power on this earth, could have told King David that? You think any of King Solomon's wives could have even told him that? They didn't even they tried to get it, they manipulate him to worship their gods, but they never tried to say we're gonna do a thing with each other on the side. Forget you. They never told him that. They couldn't even get away with that. He knew women were wicked. He just became weaker in his old age and was manipulated, man. Like it's absolutely ridiculous, man. All wickedness truly is but little to the wickedness of a woman. They always cry and bare eye water come out of their eyes when they perceive that a man so-called committed adultery on them. But where's ever their tears whenever for all the men that they've committed adultery on? You think that they've got any mercy? Or all you brothers out there, elders, apostles, you think any of these women have really got any sourness to when they bounce from you and got with the next guy? I don't believe so. They don't care. They think, oh, I made the right decision because he's not rich, and that kingdom that he's talking about, that never happened yet. So obviously I was right to do that. That's what they think. But as the moment that all hell breaks loose, some of them will still have the nerve when they might have not seen you for decades. They might not have seen you for half a decade. They might not have seen you for decades. They might still have the nerve to try and test the waters and be like, oh, let me see if I can still have a chance. Huh? What are you talking about, man? The scriptures is clear. Then she that is mine enemy shall see it. You women have became those men's enemy by when you left them. You're their enemy now. You ain't an ally to him no more. You're an enemy. But you're gonna see the same thing that he told you about when he was with you, telling you, humble down, man, and you better watch how you talking to me. But you thought, nah, I'm gonna talk to you. I want to talk to you. For whatever reason you thought, oh, he can't. He's talking about some 50-50. Mate, y'all must not be good at maths. Because paying 100% of something versus paying 90% of it, 70, 80, 20, 1% is cheaper to pay less than 100%. That's just what we know. And as you can see, man, this woman on the screen, she's not a looker. And I'm willing to bet that 20 years ago, she wasn't much of a looker neither. Because I'm looking at her, mate. But then a woman that is a looker isn't allowed to do this stuff neither. I don't care if she looked like Judith. She ain't supposed to be doing this. But the thing is, Jude, and that's how you know, like, we can't even just say that all women are wicked, because Judith would have looked a hell of a lot better looking than this woman. Susanna would have looked a hell of a lot better looking than this woman too. Shit, Rahab the harlot would have looked better than this woman, and she wasn't even an Israelite. And she had more honor than these women, man. I remember I hear one of the elders say that a lot of women these days ain't even on a higher level of righteousness than Rahab the harlot, and that's facts. Because Rahab the harlot wanted mercy because she knew that the Israelites' kingdom was coming. She even had the right sense of mind to know that. But women that actually are Israelites that are actually going to have and be part of the new covenant, eventually, they still don't want to get with this because they're stupid. These women have gone completely against the order. She's showing the anger that he's supposed to be showing for what she's trying to do to him. She's pulling at that woman. She was pulling at the woman's hair and all that when the police came through the door, pulling on her weave and that. Yeah. Got the nerve She had the nerve, man, to call the other woman a hoe. Mate, ain't that what's the saying, man? Ain't that the pot calling the kettle black, mate? You're a hoe too. But then as the famous saying goes, huh? It takes one to know one, right? Like, it's ridiculous. Like the things that the Israelite woman has become in this world is absolutely ridiculous, man. And you know what, man? Isaiah 32:9, man. 1 second. Yeah, man. I had to go in directly to the scriptures for this because I can't believe what I've seen with this. Every single time when you think, oh man, you know what? Nah, it's kind of, you give the Israelite woman some mercy, man, because she has been through a lot. Like we've been through a lot. We've all been tarnished by this society. They come and do some. You might interact with one of them in real life, and it leaves a sour taste in your mouth. You might just see one of them have a proud look on their face. They might just do something or say something or do some snide, passive aggressive thing, or you might see a news story or see them and you'll be like, man, nah, they are wicked, man. And then you get angry with yourself for trying to have some mercy on them. And it goes the same thing with the Pookie and Ray Ray too. Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 9, rise be women are at ease. This woman for damn sure was at ease to be telling her husband, I'm going to be doing my thing on the side with this woman and you ain't a part of it. And then have the nerve, she had the nerve to try and go through that woman's phone and be like, oh, I can't believe you're doing this and I can't believe you're doing that. When if he was to go through her phone, if her husband was to go through her phone, what do you think he's going to see? You understand? Like, what do you think he's going to see if he goes through her phone? Hear my word, hear my voice, ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech. And you Israelite women better listen up, man, because when this society falls, you ain't got it like you think you have. I know all you Israelite women think you bullies, and I've heard an Israelite woman say this. I can't even remember what the video was, right? Some Jake Eve, man, some Eve, right? And she said, when it comes to fighting, all these women of these other nations, they can't fight and hang with us because we got hands, but y'all be getting whooped by these other nations sometimes. I'm thinking to myself, like, Eve, you're not bad. When it really goes down, you fat, out of shape, no cardio having Eves are going to get boxed up, punched up by the women of these other nations. And in the times where you women can defeat these other nations because y'all are moving like men out here because you got such demons on you. Some of y'all are strong like men. Some of y'all are Hercules, man. Hercules. Y'all, the man's going to come through of that same nation and punch y'all up, man. This is going to happen. I can easily see how that can happen, man. And then you women are going to realize, oh, we're just women. Okay, we're fat and we weigh the same as a man. But we're finding out that these men that weigh 50 pounds, 100 pounds less than us, every single time we try and come at them with all that rah, they're hitting us with an uppercut or a strike that we don't see, and we're just waking up with our eyes looking at the sky. And I can't believe how this is happening. But when we look over and see the men of our nation that are dealing with this time, they're leaving other people with their eyes looking up at the sky. So we're going to have to humble ourselves. But guess what? Y'all don't know how to humble yourselves. So when you try and fake humble yourselves, the men's going to still smell the pride on you. You might try and come humble at first, and then you start making some of the managers going to be like, nah, you can't tell me anything. And for that, what you did there, you're out the party. You're out the salvation party, mate. Bounce. You're on your own. Then you might try and go to a next geezer, and he's going to smell the pride on you as well. He's going to be like, you smell that? That's pride. Bounce. Some of y'all might see a Jake in the distance, yeah, and say, help me, help. And he might turn and see you and run away. He might see y'all in the distance and run away from you, man. And your fat ass ain't gonna make to catch up to get help, man. And with them sandals on that are flattened out at the back because of all the weight that's bearing on them, man. You might see a Jake in the distance and he might, oh shit, there go Eve. Man turn into Mo Farah out this, up in his piece and bounce, man. Because he don't want to help you and hide. And then by the time you finally get there, he's already damn 500 kilometer away. Like, wiping his foot, like, phew. She almost catched up with me, man. Phew. I didn't want to have to deal with that. You think we're going to just be so desperate to help y'all? When have you in this society ever helped us? Your foot's been kicking our ass about the same amount as Esau's has. For the most part, man. Not every Israelite woman, but so many that a saying's been gone out there. To hell with the so-called black woman. And it's not just Israelites that think it, because Tommy Sotomayor's been going into y'all for time. Kevin Samuels was doing the same thing. Fresh and Fit podcast been doing the same thing. Fugazi podcast, Donovan Sharp, AMS, all of them. Even men that used to be on that red pill kind of talking points that didn't even really used to go in on Eve. Even they're starting to talking about y'all now, like, oh man, y'all women want y'all women want a real man and this and that, but y'all have got fake hair, fake nails, fake lips, fake bodies, fake this, fake eyebrows, fake everything. And y'all got the nerve to talk about you want a real man, but you ain't even what you real yourself. And then on top of that, they expect this man to have all these trinkets and gifts and be better than her. But what she's gonna think by him being better than her is that that's equal, when it's clearly not. And she's gonna expect him to have all of that stuff to be with one woman. We ain't even desiring to be part of the kingdom of heaven to have one woman, man. You think that we're just waiting to be mortals in the kingdom of heaven and rich billionaire, trillionaires like 70,000 times over to have one wife? Mate, nah. Obviously not. We're going to want to have unlimited. If we want to have one wife for 1,000 years, first 1,000 years of the kingdom, that's up to us. But if in that 1,001st year we decide to have 2,000 wives that 1 year, that's our problem. That's our business. If any of you brothers out there, I can't believe that a man wants to have 1,000 wives. Well, in the kingdom, you have one. If that's what you think, you're entitled for you to do that. But you're not entitled to tell no other brother how to enjoy his kingdom. You're not entitled to tell him that. Right now in this world, you could say to him, okay, nah, brother, you shouldn't even be focusing on multiple wives because you ain't even got the money like that. I can understand people saying it now. I can understand that. Oh, you ain't even rich like that. You need to get your money up first for you to be worrying about your own self. I can understand that. I can understand it. It might feel sour to be told that, but I can understand that. But for the people that say even in the kingdom they want to have only one wife, you're mate. Well, I ain't even gonna say you lost. That's your choice. But it's not your choice in the kingdom to try and tell another man what he can do in the kingdom and tell him that he's only allowed one wife in the kingdom. That's cap. That's a lie, bruv. But if you want to try and say that, it's not unrighteous for a man to have one wife in the kingdom. Neither is it unrighteous for him to have multiple wives. You're not more righteous in the kingdom for having one wife in the kingdom, and you're not more righteous in the kingdom for having 2 million wives. It's the law is the law. But once you have two wives in the kingdom, you can't go back to having one wife because they're going to be immortal like you are. Verse 10, many days and years she be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. And when I'm looking at this woman, in the back in the day, she would have committed adultery on Jake, right? And then she would have attacked Jake, and then Jake defend himself, and then Jake gets arrested. But now, she's trying to attack her second lover, and then she's getting arrested. But the thing is, like, this case is absolutely ridiculous, man. I can't make you can't make these stories up. A woman with a husband trying to have a polyamorous relationship finds out that the woman that she's dealing with has got about 6 other people that she's dealing with, right? And gets angry, but she's committing adultery on her husband, and it don't matter that he knows, she's off herself. But these women in this world, they really actually think that they're supposed to be doing what we're supposed to be doing. And when you see on all these podcasts, then they talking about, oh, would you allow your man to have another woman help? There are some the ones that even do say, yeah, they'll be like, only if I can join in. You ain't meant to join in. What are you talking about? You ain't meant to join in. Did Sarah say she wants to join in with Abraham? No, she didn't, because she wasn't a demon. Did Leah say she wanted to join in with Jacob? No. Did Rachel say that? No, because they weren't demons, man. They were actual women that think like women, mate. They didn't have no feminism up in them. I don't even think even Eve did. I don't even think even Eve did that to Adam, and she was really going off. So some of you women, it's coming like you're moving worse than Eve herself down here, man. Absolutely ridiculous what's going on down here. Verse 11. In fact, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. It's no longer going your way all the time when you women call the cops. Sometimes now you women are calling the cops, yeah. I'll be seeing some of these videos, man, these body camera arrests. You women call the cops trying to get the man locked up like you used to do, and you end up going in the handcuffs, man. You try and, yeah, and then try and bait out everything about him to try and get him locked, and you end up getting locked. Because you blatantly admit that you hit him. I hit him, but he made me mad. Okay. Well, when is it okay for a man to hit you in your mind when you make him mad? Which you women do on a regular basis to men all the time. But you don't ever think you deserve your ass whooped. Just wait till that first wave, man. That first real wave of the day of the Lord strikes this earth, man. That first wave where the day of the Lord's begun and judgment just goes out, and people start to really experience what the day of the Lord is about to be like. Just wait and see how these women are going to get humbled, man. Part of the patience of the faith of the saints as well surely has got to be the humbling of Eve, man. Because I've seen all kind of brothers that I've never even seen do videos that much on Eve, right? And part of the reason why they don't do videos on Eve is because might be too much for them, man, and they're gonna say too much if they start talking about Eve. But everyone knows when it comes to the woman thing, man. Everyone, that's a grievance that every man on this earth has. All of them. Rich. So you can't say, oh, you've got a problem with women because you're poor. No, rich men have got problems. Poor men have got problems. Handsome men have got problems. Not handsome men have got problems. Short have. Men with hair. Men without hair. Men with beards. Men without beards. Men that are in shape. Men that are not in shape. Men that are Jake. Men that are Esau. All men. This is Esau's kingdom, and even he's catching hell with women in his own kingdom. Even Esau in this world can't openly have the multiple wives thing because then they will get caught out being a hypocrite. And then everyone will be like, well, why is it okay for you to do it but not us? So he's ruined this world for his own self. Because he's made it be a law that you can't have multiple wives. So even his own Edomite men that are less of a LG3T than the average of them, because they all like that really anyway, they can't even have the multiple wives thing. Because then the hypocrisy will be called out. So they have to do it behind the scenes, man. Verse 11, tremble you women are at ease. Get scared, man. Because this society is gradually tearing away and you're going to be the first ones getting humbled by it, man. And it's going to really hurt Eve in the soul to know that she don't get access to the kingdom of heaven without showing respect to the Israelite man. That's gonna be the worst thing for her. She's not gonna be able to handle that. And we've got all these fake videos of Eve trying to question on TikTok. What did the black woman ever do wrong to you, brothers? And all this. That's not humble enough. That's not the true humility that's going to be taking place. The true humility that's going to be taking place is going to be when snot's drizzling down these women's noses, man. And that uncontrollable tears, not that fake stage TikTok crying. No, the real tears where you don't care how ugly your face looks when you're crying. You know them kind of tears that you brothers out there did alone in a room, turning to the east on your knees, praying to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. You know, like them tears where you silently cry and the pain in your stomach is hurting and you're crying unto the Lord. You know, them ones where you're remembering how much of a piece of garbage you were to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai and you're crying and you don't care and you're by yourself and you're crying. You know, them days that you brothers have had that you can pretend like if you haven't, if you want to, you can say that ain't never happened to me. Ain't no coward to me. I ain't no coward. Okay, well, Yahweh Shai wept and cried so hard that he started bleeding. So I don't believe your story of you being so tough. If you want to make it be that, I won't believe you anyway. And if you haven't did that crying yet, well, it's coming for you as well. Because you don't get to go through anything that Yahweh Shai didn't go through if you are the elect. You're going to have to go through your own version of what Yahweh Shai went through with the crucifixion too, but you ain't going to be crucified. But you're going to have to go through your own being faithful unto death moment as well as Lord willing, I have to go through as well. And it will be a beautiful story to tell in the kingdom, man. How you had some courage for once in your life, and for once in your life, right? For once in your life, when the opportunity of sin being faced with you, you was then faithful, so faithful that you was even prepared to go on to being unalived. Whereas where else can we say that we've did that in our life so far? We can't. Doesn't it say in the scripture, you have not yet, let me find that, man. You have not yet resisted unto the blood, striving against sin. Let me find that scripture. I know it's in there. I've read it before. I just don't remember where. I don't remember where that is. But I know it's in there though. Let me search the word blood. Where is that scripture, man? For ye have not yet resisted against blood, striving against sin. Where is that? Where is that, man? 1 second, Salakia. All right, I found the scripture that I was looking for. I knew it was in Hebrews 12, but I had to search it up. This is Hebrews chapter 12, verse 4. You have not yet resisted unto blood, striving against sin, but the day is going to come when we're going to do that as well. And it's going to be a beautiful story to tell in the kingdom, and that we was prepared to go all the way to not take the MOTB. Whereas right now, Eve's not prepared to humble herself 1 millimeter, man. Not prepared to humble herself 1 millimeter. And from what I've heard from the comments of this video that I've had up on the screen earlier, the wife called her husband from out the house to come and help her deal with this woman that's so-called cheating on her. How the hell can you have the pride to do that to your husband, man? But that's how far these women have gone with how bugged out they are. Like, if there's ever, people talk about all red pill and all that, right? If there would ever be a job that a man could do that would make him be red pilled to how wicked women are, surely it would have to be a police officer, man. Surely they've seen women do all kind of wickedness and be like, man, women are demons, man. Surely they know what it is. But they're prepared to allow it to happen to men when they don't allow it to happen to themselves. Police officers don't really, from when you hear some of these stories, they don't be allowing women to try and do all these things to them that they allow them to do to other men. Because they're hypocrites, man. But I'm going to end this video, man. Like, Eve truly has become bogged out in this society, man. And some of the things that she does are unbelievable. Unbelievable, man. Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.